In this video, we're gonna have a little discussion, a little heart-to-heart about two very powerful concepts. These will sound so counter to you getting what you want, to you getting the manifestation, to you getting in a relationship, the body, the money you want, right? But they're really the secret sauce, and I've realized this in the past 8 months, and it completely changed my whole paradigm of how I viewed success and hustling and grinding and obsession. Let me set this up a little bit before we jump in and really start diving into these two concepts, which I'll tell you about. The old way that I used to approach goals and manifestations versus the new way. The old way basically said, you have to have a burning desire. I even read that in Think and Grow Rich, right? Have you ever heard that? You have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. You have to be obsessed about the person that you want, the thing you want, the money you want, the goal you want. You have to revisit your goals 50,000 times a day. And you don't have a plan B, because if you have a plan B, that means your plan A sucks and you're not committed. I literally used to think that. And on surface, that sounds like decent advice. You got to really want it to build a Facebook company like Mark Zuckerberg, right? Or Elon Musk with Tesla. Like, you got to be obsessed with it. But when you start applying that advice, if your goal is success, sure, that might make sense. But if your goal is just happiness, not to build the biggest, baddest company in the whole entire world and dominate over others, right? If your goal is true happiness, fulfillment, enjoying the process, being here now, being present, what does this do? It takes you completely out of the thing you want, which is feelings, emotions, and being here now. And this is the new paradigm here. Those two things I just spoke about. You know what those are? Detachment and letting go. And this is the secret sauce over here that if we never talk about, we never emphasize, it's going to make getting this, I believe, harder. And it's going to keep you from being happy, more importantly, along the process. The easiest way to understand attachment and letting go. I give this example in my metamorphic coaching program where we spend a whole week on this process, because I know it's bigger than just we can talk about in one video. Just throwing it out there. No one video, no one book is going to teach you this. This is something you got to incorporate and practice in here over and over again, okay? So if you have your phone right now and you take it and you give it a little toss like this, you can do this no problem, right? You can do this all day long while you're talking. People do this when they're sitting there watching a movie and they drop it and it's like, oh, no big deal. Just pick it up. Now, what happens if you have the same phone, the same tossing, but instead of just doing it right here, right now, you put it over a little balcony at the mall or a building. You're on the top of it or your deck and you want to you have a heart attack. Have you ever tried that? Like, the anxiety levels just shoot up pretty high, right? Why does that happen? It's the same act of tossing your phone and catching it like this. You can do this all day long. Oh, but all of a sudden when it's over something, it becomes really important. And you're like, I can't drop this phone because all my contacts are in here, my bank information's in here, everything will break if I just mess this up and it drops and it shatters on the ground. Oh no, my life is over, right? And so that simple act becomes very, very hard because it has a lot of importance to it. Are you following me? We do the same thing with our goals, with our happiness, with our success, with our manifestations. The thing you want, you probably know how to do. Let's just, not lie to ourselves. You want to get fit? You probably know how to get fit, right? You know the basics of information out there. You know how to ask for a raise in your job if you want more money. You know how to approach people or talk to people in your everyday life if you want to meet someone. It's as simple as this. But what do? We make it so hard in our brain, we have so much importance around it, that we turn that event into us having our phone over the ledge and being like, this is it. This is the one thing. I'm so attached to this thing. And if it goes wrong, oh my God, if I talk to that person, they're going to slap me in the face and I'll never find love. I'll be alone forever. If I ask for that raise at my job, they're going to laugh at me and say, you're lucky to even work here. Fire me on the spot. And I'll be on the streets selling hand jobs for a living, right? I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's how our mind works and operates. So I hope you're seeing the power of letting go, because letting go does not mean you don't care about the result, does not mean you don't want the thing. Letting go just takes it from, okay, maybe it's not over a balcony, it reduces the importance of it, and now you're able to effortlessly do this. And again, if you want to know more about that exact method and process, I'll link down below an application for our metamorphic coaching program. We got a few spots left for this month. I do calls with you if you qualify. We'll talk about it. It's not a sales call. It's literally just a natural fit call. Okay, I turn a lot of people down. So if you're worried about fitting or whatever, just go down there and apply. And if you qualify, we'll hop on the phone and see if it's a good fit for you, okay? So now you're probably thinking, okay, I kind of understand letting go. Again, it's much more complicated. We have a whole video on the book. This one right here, Letting Go by David Hawkins, fantastic book. I'll link down our book summary of it below if you want to go deeper after this video. But you're probably thinking like, okay, well, give me something practical. Like, okay, that mindset's valuable, Clark, but like, how do I actually start letting go? There's like 3 things I really want you to try letting go of, okay? And working with hundreds of people and having really in-depth conversations, I find that these are the 3 pitfalls that people fall into when letting go and prevent them from letting go, these false beliefs. The first one is letting go of how things have to be. I'll give you a personal story for this one. Again, these videos aren't about me. I do these videos to serve you as well. But I feel like this will help set some context behind it so it's not abstractions, okay? About this time last year, maybe 18 months ago, I was so attached to numbers on this channel, to views, to subscribers, and they're just numbers on a screen. I don't know how you can get attached to it, but that's how you measure your self-worth in this industry. I not anymore, but I fell victim to it just like a lot of people on social media. Numbers are up, you're good. Numbers are down, you suck. Sounds like a fun business, right? I had these goals, these obsessions that I would write down in my journal. I'd revisit them every single day. Goals in themselves are not bad. That is not what I'm saying here. Obsession with them is. Back to the story. So this time last year, I was like, you know what? I want to double my YouTube channel. I had about 250,000 subscribers. I'm like, if I could double that, that'd be awesome. And so I became obsessed with it. For like the year of 2019, when I had that intention, it was dragging at a snail's pace. I got so in my head before I filmed every video because I'm like, this is my goal and I have to make every single video this big banger that gets 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 views. How can I do that? It killed my authenticity because I'm like, oh, I'm speaking to the masses, so I gotta be really streamlined with the message. And it actually made my results worse, not better. And so it would get about 4,000 subscribers a month, 4,000, 4,000, 7,000, 8,000, whatever. And it drove me crazy. It drove me to the point of where I was ready to pretty much quit YouTube altogether because I didn't like doing it. But then I said last year, you know what, if I'm gonna quit YouTube, why don't I just do it for fun? Because I'd be bored not doing anything. And I love reading these books, sharing these ideas with you, having these conversations with you, getting your feedback in the comments below. So I might as well just do that from that place if I'm gonna quit anyway. And so I completely detached from the outcome. I said, I don't even know how many subscribers I want this year, but it'd be kind of cool if we hit 500,000, let's just say, doubled it. For the first couple months, nothing really happened, and I was okay with it because I was having fun, I was riffing. But then towards the end of the year, stuff happened. Some videos that we filmed started going kind of viral. More and more people came in, and I was like, oh my God, this is kind of cool. December of 2020, we had our all-time month where the numbers were insane. I'm not gonna show you them because it's not about the numbers, but just know they were triple, quadruple, 5 times what they were when I was so attached. And now it's almost like a game when I look at it. It's fun. It's like, oh, whoa, numbers are crazy. Okay, well, back to videos. Because you realize you can't measure your worth by that. You guys want a really good example of letting go and detachment? All right, and check this out. So for the past hour, I've literally had this video outlined. I've wanted to film it, but there was one problem. I don't know if you can hear it. At 7 a.m. they decide to do leaf blowing here. I'd be screaming at you if I tried to film the video, or distracted and not really present. So the old me would be like, oh my God, this was my one chance to film this video. I'm in the state, I have time, I have calls later today, I gotta film this video. Once you start to let go more, you realize the things you used to stress about and give your energy to don't really matter that much. Like, does it really matter if I film the video now or in an hour from now? No. The old me would have cared. Clark 2.0 was like, whatever. Not being so rigid of how things have to go. That's being a control freak. We don't like control freaks. Let me tell you from experience, you want to avoid them. I guess another point too is just loosening the heck up. Being so stiff and serious and like I have to present this image, right, is kind of how I used to be about YouTube and whatnot. The more you loosen up, that's a form of letting go. It really is. Like, the more you realize that there's multiple right ways to create content or create videos or have your energy come across. I think it's a much more fun, playful, lighthearted energy to tap into and make videos from. Having more fun is definitely a way to let go, and that's kind of like a secret little ninja hack method in there. Is I realize I do the best work when I have the most fun. Can you relate to that? Like, when you are having the most fun, isn't your work better? Doesn't time go by faster? Don't you get better products and better results? Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's what it's supposed to be. So how can you have the most fun? How can you lighten up? How can you loosen up? Always prioritize that, and I think you'll start to see that's a form of letting go in and of itself, and your results are better, and you're happier, and having more fun along the way. So let's recap a little bit. First is identify if you're over-attached to something. If you're holding your phone out, so to speak, and you're worried about it dropping and shattering over a building. How can you bring it in closer to you, closer from the heart right here, and realize that it's just this. It's as simple as this right here. The second is how can you have more fun around this process? When you have more fun, you get better results. And the third is that if it's not happening right now, something better is always coming your way. The universe always has your back. And when I think about this from a deeper level, a truth I want to underscore for you, there's a timeline that's bigger than you. And when you get the thing that you want, it's going to be better than you could have imagined. And again, we spend a whole week on this in my Metamorphic coaching program where we help you create the 2.0 version of yourself and shift at the identity level. Okay, this is the deepest layer. This is beyond just actions or beliefs or stories. This is your identity of who you are. And I feel like it's not talked about a lot on YouTube or videos, something I've been obsessed about for over a year now. And we had this program where students got amazing results, either new relationships, more money, better jobs. If you want to hear a little more about that, I'll link down below a free case study of me just kind of walking you through what is identity shifting and all the nuts and bolts of it. Quick little video that you can watch if you want to learn more. And you can also apply to have a conversation with myself or a member of my team down the road. But for now, I do these calls one-on-one. Really get to know people who, if we're going to be working together, I gotta like the people and get along with the people I work with, right? So we can have the most fun and get you the best results. And I hope this video was helpful and helps you let go a little bit of attachments and obsession. See you in the next video next week. Until then, stop settling, start living.